State Minister for Finance Amos Lugolobi was marched to court cells of the Anti-Corruption Court in Kololo, waiting to face charges of dealing with suspect property of over 700 iron sheets. Minister Lugolobi was later marched to court before Magistrate Abati Asimwe. However, upon entering the dock, Minister Amos Lugolobi sobbed. Court charged Minister Amos Lugolobi with 2 counts of dealing with suspect property of over 700 iron sheets meant for Karamoja people.
So, Honorable, before me is a charge sheet which contains 2 counts. And all these counts are to do with dealing with suspect property contrary to Section 21A of the Anti-Corruption Act as amended. With specific reference to count number 1, the particulars of the offense are that you, Honorable Amos Lugolobi, between the 14th day of July 2022 and 28th February 2023 at OPM stores, Namanve in Mukono district, and at different places in Matuga, Wakiso district, and in Tenjeru North in Kayunga district. You dealt with government property, to wit, 400 pre-painted iron sheets marked Office of the Prime Minister, having reason to believe that the said iron sheets were acquired as a result of loss of public property, an offense under Section 10, subsection 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act. The offense of dealing with suspect property contrary to Section 21A of the Anti-Corruption Act as amended. The particulars of the offense are that you, Honorable Amos Lugolobi, between the 14th day of July 2022 and 28th February 2023 at Office of the Prime Minister's stores, Namanve, in Mukono district, and in different places in Matuga, Wakiso district, Tenjeru North constituency in Kayunga district. You dealt with government property, to wit 400 pre-painted iron sheets marked Office of the Prime Minister, having reason to believe that the said iron sheets were acquired as a result of loss of public property, an offense under Section 10, subsection 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act of 2009 as amended. Have you heard? Have you understood?
Minister Amos Lugolobi pleaded not guilty to all the charges leveled against him.
The plea of not guilty is entered against the accused person, none other than Honorable Amos Lugolobi.
Prosecution led by Baine Moses asked court for more time to complete investigations. The defense legal team led by Johnny Sabire asked court to grant Minister Lugolobi bail basing on his health condition, the period he spent in police custody, and being a responsible person who represents the people of Tenjeru North constituency in Kayunga district.
Your Worship, we have instructions from the accused person to apply for bail. Your Worship, as you realize, my colleagues have just indicated that they are not ready and they are seeking an adjournment. Your Worship, you will also realize that in the application for adjournment, they have not indicated how much time they need to be ready. Your Worship, in the meantime, the accused person, who is the applicant, was picked up on Friday last week. and Your Worship, he has since been incarcerated in police cells until today. Your Worship, the accused person, who is the applicant, is a honorable member of Parliament. Your Worship, is also, this court has the discretion to grant bail, and Your Worship, it's our view that that discretion should be exercised judiciously. But nonetheless, Your Worship, we have bothered to deliver to the court an LC letter of his place of abode. Your Worship, I'm going to deliver the original copy to court. I just needed to give the particulars.
And you are talking in the past tense. You have managed to deliver when we are not in the sea.
Actually, we made this morning when we sent to the state attorney, we also sent a copy to the court.
We only have this.
Photocopies.
We have this only one page later. The notes of instructions.
Most of like Your Worship, we can have the originals delivered to you.
Minister Amos Lugolobi also presented 6 sureties for court to grant him bail, including Naigaga Maria Woman Member of Parliament for Namutomba District, James Kakoza Member of Iyara, Kefa Chiwanuka Member of Parliament for Chiboga District. Others include Joseph Muvawala, Prime Minister of Busoga Kingdom, and Karanga Moses businessman.
Your Worship, his place of abode is clearly stated in the charge sheet. But nonetheless, Your Worship, we have bothered to deliver to the court an LC letter of his place of abode. Your Worship, I'm going to deliver the original copy to court. I just needed to give the particulars.
And you are talking in the past tense. You have managed to deliver when we are not in the sea.
Actually, we made this morning when we sent to the state attorney, we also sent a copy to the court.
We only have this.
Photocopies.
We have this only one page later. The notes of instructions.
Most of like Your Worship, we can have the originals delivered to you.
The application was objected by prosecution that the accused will interfere with the remaining inquiries. Prosecution also told court that the 2 presented land titles have encumbrances.
It is our contention that once is released immediately, there is a high likelihood of him interfering with the remaining inquiries because he has the influence and capacity to do so.
This court in Nicholas Opio versus Uganda, Justice Jane Okuwo Kajuga at page 7 stated, it is not enough to allege that the applicant is likely to interfere, that the word likely was underlined, to interfere with the investigations or to reoffend. There should be justification for such an assertion. Your Honor, the submission of my senior colleague without evidence puts us into a football pitch. We are just wagering, we are betting. We on speculation, we on fanciful theories, we on assumptions which court cannot entertain. And he ceased being an advocate and went into psychology when he stated that the accused looks very normal, very well. The accused is on drips. The medicines are here. what more should this court then believe? Your Honor, I pray that you believe evidence of doctors and not those that purports to be psychologists. But Your Honor, succinct to note, he prays for the accused to be sent to prison until 2 weeks when investigations are done. This is the punishment under the Prisons Act. And when does the punishment come? It only comes when somebody has been convicted. This is the Honorable Member of Parliament who returned the iron sheets, who paid for them. Your Honor, the evidence is here.
I believe counsel has descended into the evidence. I don't know whether he has instructions to change plea.
At this stage, whether he turned iron sheets or not, reserved for another day.
Much obliged, Your Honor.
Magistrate Herbert Asiimwe remanded Minister Amos Lugolobi to Luzira Government Prison.
I will write a comprehensive ruling on the date I'm about to inform you, but this is for purposes of now. I have carefully listened to the submission of both counsel for the applicant and the state's response and the rejoinder too of counsel for the accused person. The right to have accused person granted bail is based on the discretion of a judicial officer, handling the matter. I am mindful of the fact that justice delayed is justice denied, and justice hurried is also justice buried. The applicant tendered in several documents that court cannot analyze now to balance the interest of both parties and also to ensure that the decision to grant or not to grant bail is judiciously arrived at. Court would require to have an ample time to study the documents and authorities cited by the parties. For this reason, the ruling on this bail application is reserved for 20th April 2023 at 12 noon, and in the meantime, the accused person is remanded to prison and shall be returned to this court on 20th, which is a Thursday of this week. Today is Monday. On Thursday at midday, he will be returned for a ruling. I want to advise prison. Is there prisons here? Okay, I want to advise the security personnel present that the allegation of health is something that should not be taken lightly. So,
Court resumed on 20th April 2023 to deliver a ruling in Minister Lugolobi's bail application. Minister Lugolobi yegasse ku bantu abalala babiri abaleetebwa mu kkooti emu ku nsonga z'amabaati g'ekkalamojja, nga kuno kwaliko minisita avunaanyizibwa ku nsonga z'ekkalamojja Mary Goethe Kitutu wamu ne muganda we Nambayo Michael Kitutu. Wadde ng'abasatu bano basimbiddwa mu kkooti, kigambibwa nti abantu 50 okuli ababaka ba Paalamenti ko ne baminisita be bagambibwa okuba mu nsonga z'okubulankanya amabaati g'ekkalamojja.
Gundi mu OPM lwaki tebabukwata abapoliisi? Lwaki bapoliisi tebakwatiddwa? Abakuumayo twagala bamuwa buwe amabaati bagamuwa, bakwatibwe nabo abapoliisi bonna abakuumayo bakwatibwe tukakase.
Tuli banyiivu Natumba Sofia omusajja oyo gwolaba akoledde gavumenti eno ebirungi byonna ebiri e Kayunga musajja oyo, naye gavumenti okumusasulamu ekintu ekyo. Tuli banyiivu, tegaliiyo ebyo byabwe be bamanyi bye bayisaawo, tegaliiyo abo abagatwala be baali kute. Omusajja ono talina mabaati.
Nze ndi coordinator Amos Lugolobi. Naye omubbi yona amanya sitowa n'akola ki? Nabba naye amabaati babawa buli lwaki basiba oyo yabawa. Lwaki basiba ate Amos Lugolobi yeke person. Ate n'agazaayo yagazizaayo. Naye kati ate lwaki bamuzaayo? Amos Lugolobi kankubulire. Ku biyumba genda kola Amos Lugolobi yalina kyaki ey'okusereka n'abeera n'essomero Kibuzi. Labanyo n'abeera ne Kibuzi. N'abeera ne kyaki y'Abaprotestanti. N'asaba amabaati ne balwayo muwa. Kati ye n'addira ssente ze n'akola n'agula amabaati n'asereka zirikatigano we gajjira yali alina okuzzaawo okiraba gavumenti ebintu byawe ebyo bisoonooka
muleta tugenda kudeegiwagira omuntu yabba ki ekyo yasosa